Hello YouTube and welcome back in In-Flightsim. Today we're back in the DCS World Mission Editor and we're going to be looking at how we can set up an air-to-air fighter escort. So if we looked at my last tutorial, it was about how we can set up an AWACS. Now, as we all know, an AWACS is a high value asset and you might want to have something providing it with Escort to protect it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can do that. So we've got our AWACS here set up. It's going to fly down here to waypoint 1 and then onto waypoint 2 where it will start its orbit to conduct its mission. We can go ahead and give that an escort. So we come across to the side here, we can select our aircraft we want, and I want to have an F-15 escorting it. So go ahead and just place it here on the map. Also, you can do this from the ground. The principle is the same. I'm just doing it from the air. It's just quicker for me to show you. Okay. So I know my AWACS here is going to be at 25,000 feet at 450 knots ground speed. So let me go ahead and let's name it like we would do with any aircraft we would. So let's just call this our Escort. Escort. Let's copy that and paste it into the pilot as well. The mission that I wanted to carry out is Escort. The skill of the pilot. Obviously, you can put this to whatever you want. I just tend to leave it as veteran. Tail number. So this will affect if you've got multiple aircraft out there, and it'll affect the port numbers, I believe, on some aircraft. Radio, if we want to contact the F-15 on. Call sign, so we have Enfield, Springfield, Uzi, Colt, Dodge, Ford, Chevy and Pontiac. Go ahead and select whichever one you want, it makes no difference. And then the numerical value for that call sign as well, so Enfield 11 is fine for us. We're not going to give it any late activation or uncontrolled AI if it was on the ground either. We just wanted to start straight away. So let's go ahead and select our aircraft. So here it is. And let's go ahead and give it a mission payload as well. So just go ahead for that. There you go. She's tooled up and ready to go. Looks pretty mean, doesn't she? Nice. I do like the F-15. Beautiful aircraft. So now it's there. Let's go ahead and select, put it in, give it some starting information. So I know my AWACS is at 25,000 feet. So let's go ahead and put my Escort at 20,000 feet. Just so it's got a bit of work to do, and I want it to be at 450 knots also. So then let's just add one waypoint. Boom. And this is where we can start to add our information in on what we want it to do as an escort. So we come down here to add. We want it to perform a task and escort. Now, here, if you had multiple different aircraft flying around, you can select different ones. But here, as you can see, I've only got another aircraft as the AWACS set up, so we obviously know it's going to be the AWACS that we want it to follow. Position, this is where we want our escort aircraft to sit in reference to our lead aircraft, I suppose. So obviously this is all in feet. So let's go ahead and have our escort fly nice and close to him. So let's have him 200 feet behind. We want him at the same altitude, and then this is either left or right, I believe. So if it's positive, I think it's right. If it's negative, I think it's left. I think so. There we go. So 200 feet behind, 200 feet to the right, and at the same elevation as the aircraft. Here we can select where we want the escort to finish. So it's if you had if we had a transport aircraft, for example, and we wanted it to escort, so we come down here, and rather than following the aircraft all the way into where it was going to land, we could say, right, at this waypoint up here, maybe you can leave that aircraft and just go and land yourself rather than escorting it all the way in. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to select that. And then, because I know from my previous tutorial that this AWACS is set up for a 2-hour mission, I'm going to add the duration of 2 hours. That's how long I want this F-15 to escort this AWACS. And then how far away we want our Escort aircraft to engage targets, so 32 nautical miles away from the AWACS. Given how highly valuable an AWACS is, I would increase that personally. Maybe put that up to 60 nautical miles, because we want to keep our AWACS away from danger. And then we can go ahead down here and see what we want our aircraft to attack. So we want it to engage other aircraft, so fighters, multi-role fighters and bombers. Helicopters probably aren't really going to bother an AWACS unless it's flying, I suppose, really low level, but in theory it's probably never going to happen like that. And that's all we need to do. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what it does for us. So here we are. We are now in is the F-15. I don't know if you can just see there above the canopy is the AWACS. And here we go. Our F-15 is now turning towards the AWACS, and he should go ahead and fly to join up with him. So let's speed this up so we're not sat around all day waiting for it to happen. So you can see he's burning some fuel in a minute trying to catch up, but that's fine. You know, if we had a tanker available, we could have a tanker orbiting not far away and set it up to go and refuel from time to time. And here we go. So this is it. Our F-15 is now escorting our AWACS, and it will stay on the wing until we can set up some other conditions. So if it was out of ammunition, there's not much point in having an escort. Or if it was at bingo fuel, it would leave the aircraft and go and either land or refuel. And that's essentially it on how to set up an escort for your high value assets. I hope that you found this tutorial useful. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I'll try to help you out where I can. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel, it really does help me out. And I shall see you next time. Goodbye.